Good morning, everyone, and welcome to S5U. We'll go ahead and get started here. It looks like we've got a couple more people streaming in, but feel free to join in as we go. I'm Kate Drake. I'll be your host today to talk about Facebook boosting. This is something we get a lot of questions about, and it's something that we're able to help you with here at Social 5 if you would like to have us do it for you, or you can do it on your own fairly easily. It's a lot easier than Facebook advertising. So it's kind of a fun little thing that you can do to give your business an extra boost. Now, as always, feel free to ask questions as we go. You can use either the Q&A feature or the chat room, and I'll be monitoring both of those as we go. So I'll try and grab your questions as we go along so that I can make sure I'm talking about relevant information. So anyway, we'll go ahead and hop right in. Again, ask questions if you have them. All right, so a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to be talking, first of all, about the difference between a Facebook boost and a Facebook ad. That's a really important distinction and something that a lot of people don't understand. So we'll talk about that a little bit and help you understand the differences between the two. We'll talk about what types of posts are best to boost. We're going to talk about the 80-20 rule, which is a rule that Facebook has for boosting posts. We're going to talk about how to target your audience a little bit. We're going to talk about some examples of some successful boosts that we've done and that you can hopefully get some inspiration from. So with that in mind, we'll go ahead and hop in. So let's talk about a Facebook ad versus a Facebook boost. A lot of times people who are kind of newer to Facebook advertising and stuff use the two interchangeably, and they're not exactly the same thing. They're slightly different, and you can do different things with each one. So a Facebook ad is going to look like this one that you see over here on the left. And what it's going to do is it's going to follow a template that requires you put in basically kind of the same stuff every time. You do an image, a headline, some copy, and then you put in a link that's designed to promote your page or your event or to get website clicks or things like that. Now, you can do a lot of different things with ads, and as you're going through and building one, Facebook will ask you what your goal is for this particular ad. This one in particular is to get people to enter a contest. You may have another one that's trying to build likes on your Facebook page or, draw people to your website or whatever. So you do have a few different options for your objective when it comes to an ad versus a boost. You're going to place those through the ads manager, through Facebook's ad manager, and those ads appear as sponsored posts in people's newsfeed, or it'll appear along the page margins on the side of their page. It's along the right-hand side if you're looking at those on a desktop. If you're looking at it on a mobile device, it's going to appear as a sponsored ad in your newsfeed, and it can also appear as that sponsored ad in the newsfeed on a desktop too. Now, these are really a big staple in social marketing. They're kind of the fundamental advertising thing. And a lot of the other social platforms are trying to catch on to that because Facebook has successfully shown that they can monetize this. So we've seen Twitter and Pinterest and Instagram and some other platforms also start running ads too because they are so successful. But these ads typically run for a longer period of time. This is going to be something that you're going to run for at least a week, possibly even months, depending on what's going on. Some of them run indefinitely. I've seen hotel ones that run indefinitely, shoes, whatever it may be that people are advertising. And usually you're going to spend about $100 at least. That's kind of, I would say, the bare minimum for a Facebook ad, up to thousands of dollars per month. We have a few clients that we spend several $1,000s a month for them in Facebook advertising to try and draw people over to their website. And it's really effective. But so it's a little bit, the takeaway here is that, it's a little bit spendier. It's going to run for a longer amount of time. And there's kind of some different objectives that you can pick depending on what it is what goal you're trying to meet. Now, a Facebook boost is going to be a little bit different. Here's a boost that we recently did for a company called Kristen & Company. They sell these really great candles, so I highly recommend checking them out if that's something that you're interested in. They're one of our clients, and this is a post that we boosted for them. So boosts only apply to an individual post that's on your Facebook business page. So they're only going to promote that one post for the period of time that you designate. And you can do it on a new post that you just created with the purpose of boosting, Or you can take a post that's already on your Facebook page and boost it that way. So you can do it with a post that already exists. So that's kind of cool. Boosting is a lot faster than placing an ad. You can set your location, your demographic, and your budget in seriously just a few seconds. And then you launch that promotion directly from your page. So it goes really quick and is a lot easier. There aren't nearly as many demographics to put in or boxes you have to fill out basically to do a boost on your own. And then it's available for any amount that you want, which is kind of different from the ads. Obviously the ads are available for any amount that you want too, but that higher spend is what's going to yield returns. For a Facebook boost, you can do a boost for $5 and reach a few hundred people. So it's really affordable that way. So it's really great to promote things like special events or an offer or some news that you may have about your company, you know, if you're moving or something like that, any contests that you might have, whatever the case may be. So what types of posts are best to boost? You know, these are kind of the things that tend to do the best. News articles are about your company is always good. Special events that you've got coming up that you want people to know about are important. Any offers that you might have. You saw that one that we just did for the candle company was like a coupon code. Giveaways are also always really good. You know, if you're doing a contest or giving away something, we do these all the time for, you know, we're giving away a $25 gift card and we'll throw 20 bucks behind it to boost it and get a larger audience. So one thing that you have to watch out for as you're doing these boosts are that you have to watch out for what we call the 80-20 rule. And basically this is a rule that Facebook has set up that says the images must not have more than 20% text on them. So it's kind of weird. Facebook uses this kind of graph thing that they put over every photo that you try and boost. And if you have too much text in too many boxes, it won't pass this 80-20 rule. So it's kind of hard doing that if you're boosting a photo that you've overlaid graphics on. So that's something that you might want to be careful about. You can see in this one we've kept it to a minimum on the text actually on the photo, and then use text in the post instead, and that works really well. So if you ever try and do a boost on your own and it tells you that you have too much text, that's probably why. You probably need to either pick a different photo or readjust the text on your photo so that you don't have quite so much. So another thing that's really cool about boosting is that it allows you to target your audience. So you can choose who sees the boosts that you're doing through these steps. So what's going to happen is you go to do your boost, it will pull up a box like this that lets you edit your audience. And you can pick it will let you choose either, you know, people who already like your page, it will let you choose people who like your page and their friends, or you can do this people you choose through targeting. And that's what I would usually recommend because you're trying to get new people to look at your page through a boost. All the folks who have already seen your page, right, who already are in your news, or who already have you in their news feed, are hopefully going to see it already. So people you choose through targeting is a really great option. So you can specify your audience by location, age, gender, interests, things like that. In this case, we've done you know, one that's for San Francisco. We're looking for all, pretty much all ages and genders, you know, 18 to 64. And then we're talking about farmers markets, foods, shopping, local produce. This is for a vegan ice cream shop. So it's going to be talking about animal rights, ice cream. We've got sales promotion in there for people who are looking for coupons. So you're going to throw in a few things like that to try and get you know, a good picture of who it is that's going to be interested in this boosted post that you have. You can also include a mileage radius. So you can see, in this case, we had San Francisco, which is a pretty big city and has a large enough population who are interested in vegan ice cream. But if you have you know, maybe a more rural area or something, you can pick a location and then pick you know, a certain radius of how big you want. And that's part of what you're going for here, is that you want to make sure that there are enough people. You want to be specific about who you're targeting, but you don't want to be so specific that, you know, there's only 3 people in your area who would be interested in seeing that. So you kind of have to balance those two a little Again, you can also select people who like your page and their friends. Those posts are going to be only available to those people, and this option only exists if you have at least 50 likes on your page. So again, that's a good one if you're trying to get repeat customers to come back or whatnot. So it kind of depends on what you're going for and what your goal is here of who you want to target. But generally speaking, I usually like to go through for the people you choose through targeting. So the great part about Boost is that they really are a huge boon for limited budgets. You can spend $10 and you can reach thousands of people in your target market. Most of these successful Boosts spend about $5 a day and last a few days to a week. You can do one day if you want, that's fine. I've done that before, boosted something for 20 bucks for one day. That's fine. But yeah, so however long you pick, it will spread out that amount over that amount of time. So the great part is, again, you can really make a big impact for a small amount of money. Here's a couple of things that we've boosted. I thought this one was particularly funny. This is an older post that we had boosted from Back to the Future, and it talked about the Chicago Cubs winning the 2015 World Series. This is Back to the Future 2 when he goes into the future. Obviously, they didn't manage to clinch it in 2015, but this year, I guess he was just off. So the reigning World Series champions, the Chicago Cubs, who thought we'd all live to see the day, right? This other one over here you can see is a Disney Vacation boosted post. And you can see down at the bottom how many people were reached. Now you can see this little orange bar there. And I want to take a second to talk about that. The light orange color is going to be the people that you reach organically. So that's people who just saw the post because it was on your page, or maybe their friend commented on it, and so they saw their friend's comment up in their news feed or something like that. That's the organic reach. Okay, it's people that just saw it through their everyday interaction with Facebook. The dark orange bar is what we call the sponsored reach or the paid reach, and so that's who has been reached through this boost. So you can see that number is much higher on both of those for the folks who have been targeted through targeting. So on this one, we've got probably about 600 people who saw it through paid advertising on the World Series versus about 500 who saw it through non-boosted. Over here on the Disney one, you can see that orange bar is huge compared to the organic reach of that post. So that made a really big difference for this particular post. All right, with that in mind, we'll go ahead and stop for some questions. Anybody have anything they want to ask or questions about boosting? Nothing right now? All right. Well, I really encourage you guys to get out and try this. Pick a post that you think is fun and that you want more folks in your audience to see, and go out and throw $5 at it and see what happens. It's kind of a fun thing to play around with. Now, if you are a little intimidated by that and you don't want to waste too much money or anything, obviously that's always a concern. We're happy to help you with this too. We have packages that offer boosting and advertising both. So if you're interested in either, get in touch with us. You can send us an email over at support@social5.com or get in touch with your sales rep, and we can get that worked out for you so that you can do it through us instead of doing it by yourself. But really, it is kind of fun, and boosting at least is something that I feel like everybody can figure out on their own if they play around with it for a little while. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. We'll be back again in 2 weeks with another webinar. So we'll see you then. Thanks so much.